Hi, Neil.
Hey, Ryan. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, and it's nice to see you in the 1970s.
Hey, wherever you go, there you are.
Mm.
I'm okay. You're okay.
I am okay. You
The
know,
joy of the thing.
we'll just thank everyone else who's here. Move on. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show.
My dinner with Ryan and me and other people too. Yeah, my dinner. My dinner party.
Yeah.
If you're here now, you probably know what you're in for.
Yeah.
Maybe not, though.
Yeah. If you just stumbled upon this because you're a fan of Frigid Theater, there we go.
Thanks, Frigid.
Yeah, thank you, Frigid. They are a wonderful theater based out of New York. They're letting us do this. We're not sure if they actually know that we're doing this, but they know. They don't seem to mind. But we do want you to send the money so we don't feel guilty about it. So please Venmo them at Frigid New York. Don't put space Venmo. That's just to let you know that that's Venmo. In case you're new to this.
That's
but yes, please send them money. Save our stages. We want them to open for real, and then we'll say, hey, can we do a live show in New York, and we'll have like a really fancy thing, and then you can come and we'll see you in person.
Ryan, this is a diversion, which is, I think, maybe our trademark.
Sure.
You and I should start talking at some point about what we would eat at a New York dinner party. The Frigid started some live shows already. That's right, with including but not limited to Mike Daisy, who is
noted monologist.
Thank you. I couldn't do that word myself. That's awesome. Thank you for reminding us, Frigid New York. It's if you're confused about what you're about to see, cool. We're going to unconfuse you real quick. I'm Neil.
I'm Ryan.
And we have a virtual dinner party once a month with interesting guests. At least we think they're interesting. And we want you to think they're interesting too. So we've got some questions for them. And we're just going to hang out, chit chat for about an hour or so. You'll hear what they're up to. And hopefully you're going to go away a more cultured, intrigued human being. Jack McDermott, we're going to unconfuse you over the next hour. If the past minute didn't help.
Speaking of which, just like Jack, if you are confused or you have a question or you just want to participate in the show, fire off a comment, and we'll if it's a good comment like Jack's comment, you get it flashed up right here.
Yeah, great. I had an idea, but I'm going to hold on to it for a minute until our guests show up. So
Neil, who is our guest tonight? Guests. A first for my dinner with.
Guest plus guest plural, the two guests. All right, I'll get to it. We have with us our dear friends of the show and friends of ours individually.
Yes.
Michael Savitsky and Noah Levine, of many projects between them, and we'll hear about some of those from them. You will note, as a viewer at home, they're going to be on the same camera. We're experimenting. We're trying to see what 2021 brings us, and sometimes it's going to bring us multiple guests from the same camera.
Yeah.
Let's welcome Noah and Michael. Yeah, there they are.
Hi, everyone.
Woo!
Hey.
Good to be here.
Yeah. Guys, I'm sorry I didn't have your bios on the screen, and I know we hassled you about the bios, but I promise we'll make use of them at a later date.
Great.
I mean, we're not doing much new stuff, so they probably won't change.
Nope.
Yeah.
There is a portion of the show where we'll ask you about them. So
that's true.
But audience, just know that Noah and Michael are very important people. Very important.
That's why
not just in this context, but in the world
in general.
Larger.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Guys, how are you doing?
Doing good. I just finished cooking. I timed it up a little too well, so it was like 7:30. I was like, done. So
that's efficient.
And I just started eating.
Nice. That's a good teamwork right there.
It's often how it goes.
Yeah.
or the food is delivered.
Well, so what are you eating tonight? Let's get right into it.
So I made a Japanese style curry. I'm serving with udon noodles.
Wow.
Wow.
Dang. And can you talk about these eggs? Are these soft boiled, hard boiled, or somewhere in between?
They're soft boiled eggs.
Yeah.
Usually when I make soft boiled eggs, they're medium boiled eggs. But these are soft boiled.
The yolks are like a bright orange.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Sorry, soft boil and hard boil? Because I'm not like a big egg guy. Is it when you take them out?
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah.
I was like, is this like a different?
For soft boiled, you also have to like immediately plunge them into cold water to stop them from continuing to cook.
Oh.
Yeah. Is this a regular recipe in your rotation?
Quasi. I think I last made it probably like 8 months ago, so not super often.
You just need the packet.
Yeah, like it comes. The Japanese curry roux is like a block that they sell, and you like dissolve it, and you basically like stew vegetables and meat. If this is like a vegetarian one, but you drop the roux blocks in, and it's basically like fat and spices and stuff like that.
Do you have to get it at like novelty or specialty grocery stores?
Well, we get it.
Not the right word.
We get it from an Asian grocery store. I wouldn't call it a novelty grocery store.
Rude. Might not have been the best.
Oh my god!
Actually, Spencer's Gifts is opening a grocery store. Spencer's Groceries. It's gonna be cucumbers.
Right.
I've seen cucumbers.
Right.
It's also going to smell like Spencer's Gift, so you're not going to want to eat anything in it.
Super.
Now de-pretty my curry so that I can eat it.
Oh boy. Ryan, speaking of novelties, what's on your plate?
Well, it's grill season, so I made strip steak, and my wife made these oven roasted potatoes. Very good.
Cool.
Wife of the show, Jessie Barlow, makes amazing potatoes. And then I'm having raw green beans, which I'm not usually a fan of, but my wife is. And we're trying to get my son Declan to try new vegetables.
Yeah.
So we're trying raw green beans, and then we're going to try steamed ones.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wild.
So Neil, what do you have on your plate over there?
Let's see if I can do my camera angle correctly this week.
I
have macaroni and cheese, part of a hot dog left over from yesterday, some potatoes. Just it's a whole mishmash of stuff that was in the fridge.
Oh, little potluck on your own.
Exactly. Lovely. Michael, Noah, you are gentlemen with opinions, gentlemen with experience. What makes a good dinner party for you?
Okay, well, you can guess what I'm going to say.
Are you going to say board games, Noah?
There's a good chance if I show up at a dinner or a party and I have a bag with me, there's probably a board game inside.
Mm-hmm.
With the right number of people in the right crowd, a board game after dinner, before dinner, during dinner.
Mm-hmm.
We got a board game van.
Oh. Michael, what's your take on board games at dinner parties?
I enjoy board games at dinner parties. Noah is harder into board games than I am, but I still play them a lot.
You got other dinner party requests or needs or wants?
Like a good cocktail, maybe?
Oh.
Good cocktail is important.
Felt like you were going to say that.
What is the good cocktail important before, during, or after the dinner itself?
Yeah.
After, yeah.
After?
Mm-hmm. All to me.
Well, you do one before so that you like are loosened up enough to like be an interesting person to talk to. Mm-hmm. If you're like me and you have like crippling social anxiety, and and then afterwards it's just for fun.
Do you have a go-to cocktail?
I don't have a go-to cocktail now. I go all over the place, but I used to say, like, I would say 10 years ago when I was like a younger man and didn't know what to drink, I would often do Coke Zero and Fireball.
Not exactly dinner party.
Not exactly cocktail, if you ask me, but all right.
So is that where like you were served Coke Zero and you had the Fireball in your pocket?
No, it's like you go to a party and they've got like all of the alcohol they own and a bunch of mixers, and you're like, okay, I know what these two things are.
Excuse me, Noah, what's the board game equivalent of Coke Zero and a Fireball?
Jackbox games.
In that
Rude.
It's something that I would want to see at a dinner party.
In that,
what would be your okay, how about this? What's your dinner party board game choice of now versus 10 years ago?
Oh, man.
Well done. Well put.
Well, here's the thing. 10 years ago was the year 2011.
Mhm.
So I didn't own any board games in 2011.
Well,
Well, I
Isn't
mean,
there,
like my
like, Parcheesi?
family. Okay, yeah, but those were with my parents. I was in college, and like all my childhood board games were at home.
but you hadn't yet got into.
No, yeah, I don't think I had any board games with me.
Were you already in gamers though?
No, I started doing the college board game club a year or two later, and then I bought like 3.
I love
And
that
then
you're
one
like
day-
very dedicated to the 10 years. Like exactly 10 years ago at this time, I would not have had a board game.
Well, it's just because of like when I started school that I'm able to like bookmark it, and I know when I started playing board games.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is a weird factoid.
So what would be your choice now?
Okay, yes. So I mean, an ongoing classic, and okay, so this is like also my choice from 8 years ago. So I'll go that would be the Resistance,
Okay.
Tell us about the Resistance.
which is like mafia-inspired hidden identity game for 5 to 10 people, where some people are spies and other people are not spies, and you're trying to root out the spies by going on missions. Michael loves it because he loves having to lie. In
Michael,
settings.
is this true?
Yes, I love lying. I'm so good at it. My face doesn't do anything. No, yeah, I'm not great. Since I've been performing improv, I've been slightly better at the hidden identity games, and that like I have a few tricks. But in general, I'm a terrible liar. So
Okay.
Also-
we know everything you've said up to this point is true.
also my first, not my first, but most of my first encounters with hidden identity games were at his board game club. With like a bunch of PhD students who are like who have played these games so many times that it's like wired into their brain, and they're like, well, why did you say that, and when did he do that? I remember 8 turns ago when he did this and that. I'm like,
Oh no.
they got me. I'm not even guilty, but they got me.
Yeah.
So is that like a do you need the cards for it, or can you just like write it on pieces of paper?
You can play with a regular deck of cards, which I have done before. You'll need some accessories as well. However, it is a published game, so to support the folks, you should purchase it. But if I'm at your party and you got a deck of cards,
Or playing spoons?
or playing spoons.
Well, Michael, do you have a favorite board game choice for a dinner party?
Yeah, let's stir this up.
I'm gonna cheat and look at the thing, because as soon as you ask me what my favorite board game is, every board game I've ever known flies out of my head.
Just say
I
them
love
all at
Seven
once.
Wonders. Seven Wonders is a very good game, especially for people who like want to play like a slightly more technical game but haven't played a lot of them.
So how does it work?
So you've got a wonder, like one of the 7 wonders, and there's probably like 12 of them now. So it's not quite 7 wonders, but some ancient thing built by a civilization, and you have a bunch of stacks of cards, and you like draft one card from it, and you pass it around, and you're basically drafting these cards to build your civilization and your wonder, and then there's like a million different ways you score points. And those are all calculated at the end, and whoever won. And sometimes there's war.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you have the old arms race, because once you start playing military cards, you're
The
attacking
people around
your
you
neighbors.
have to.
Yeah.
And then they play more, and then you play more.
Well, so here's a question. In these games that are a little more competitive, have they ever ruined a dinner party?
Evening. Yeah.
I don't know that they've ruined like a dinner party. I've certainly had a thing at a board game. I can't remember what game we played, but I do remember. Oh, yes, I remember the Resistance. So this is a game, right, where like you're laughing at my double articles.
No. Carry on. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
So it's definitely can be a friendship ender or relationship destroyer, because you're trying to figure out. It's like if a lot of people have played Werewolf. It's a very similar thing. It's like one of these 3 people put down the card that says fail and caused the mission to fail. And so you look someone in the eyes and you're like, was this you? Did you play this card? And they're like, no, I swear, I'm telling the truth. Blah, 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 blah. And that can really cause problems after the game ends and you find out they were lying. And the other thing is, when you accuse someone, you're like, it's definitely that person, and the whole group agrees, they can sometimes feel targeted and it feels personal. So you got to play with people who like know each other and aren't going to be offended.
Kelsey notes in the comments that her current favorite game is Chameleon. And there we go. Thank you for that, Amanda. And yes, we're enjoying Chameleon in our little household pod a great deal. And it really does like tap it, because it has some of these similar mechanisms of like who's lying to whom. Really does tap into those mechanisms of like, can this person lie about this topic? What did they say earlier tonight? Like, I don't know. It's it's very revealing. Yeah. What do you guys know the first board game that two of you played together?
Ooh,
Yes.
That's adorable.
It's easy. It's an easy question.
Because we played it several years before we re-met and started a relationship.
We started dating through the online dating that we do nowadays. But we had actually met previously at a board game event and didn't discover that until our date.
Oh,
that's cute.
So what was the game?
So we were playing Quantum Werewolf.
Yeah, you really walked into
So it's like Werewolf, but I'll explain it shittily and then Noah can explain it a little bit better. But there's like millions or billions of different universes with different outcomes, and as you observe things in the universe by things getting revealed, those collapse, and then eventually you get down to one universe where there's one set of truth.
Yeah. In regular Werewolf, you start off the game by dealing out cards, and two people are chosen as werewolves. In Quantum Werewolves, you start out with an equal chance that everyone might be a werewolf. So they all try to kill someone, and then you put it into the computer, and it's like, nope, now there's a 30% chance this person is a werewolf, and a 20% chance. It's really nerdy. You don't really win based on any kind of skill. It's very strange.
I can't believe that didn't draw you two together immediately into Smoochingville.
I was actually slightly mad at Noah at the time because he was facilitating the game and he kept misinterpreting who I was pointing to when I pointed to things.
Oh. Yeah, it was an everyone close your eyes, one person open your eyes and point at a person sort of thing. And then I had to put it all into the computer. It's like fun for people who like entering data entry.
It does sound
pretty niche.
you have to have certain inclinations towards how you view the world to play this game, which is wow. All right. We've covered a lot more about board games on the show than we ever have before. Either we're really drawing a new audience, or people are just gonna be like, is this show about board games now? It could be. In an infinite number of universes, our show is only about board games from now on.
It's true. It's
my quantum dinner.
Well, we have like 10 questions, like common icebreakery questions, where if you ask us that question, the answer is going to be board games.
What are the other 9 questions?
What do you have all of them?
What do you have a lot of in your apartment, I guess?
What is my laptop currently sitting on top of to make it taller?
What's in that bag you're carrying, Noah?
What did you get your friends for their wedding?
Like what's the most recent purchase you've made?
And what
makes up the majority of your Amazon wish list?
What have you kickstarted the most of?
Oh, yeah.
All those common icebreaker questions that I know you were about to ask.
Yes, got them all out of the way.
Well,
you missed,
folks.
Yeah. That's it. We're done.
Actually, you missed one of our biggest icebreaker questions, which is, what was the best dinner party you've ever been to?
True. I don't think board games is the answer to that, unless it is.
It could be.
Could be.
Not. It could have been a theme.
Yeah. And you guys don't have to agree on this answer. Luckily.
No. Yeah. You could. One of you could have went to one, and
that the other didn't.
Yeah.
So I think for me, the one that sticks out in my mind, this was actually maybe 2 or 3 years before I met Noah, but me and my roommate at the time, Cindy, and a group of our friends threw a Clue-themed dinner party. So we all picked a character. We all dressed up as them. We made like vaguely British food. We spent the whole night by candlelight. We watched the movie. We played the game.
Who had to be Mr. Body though?
I don't think anyone was Mr. Body.
I mean, so just like a
think they were-
6-person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Amanda, our impressive and wonderful tech person, would love to come to your next Clue if you're having one.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask her after the show, but I think she's a Miss Scarlet. That's my.
Mm-hmm.
A close runner-up to that was we shortly thereafter, maybe like a few months afterwards, did a Downton Abbey themed tea. And I don't know anything about Downton Abbey, but it was fun.
That sounds great. That
Yeah.
sounds like you can recycle some things from your Clue themed dinner party, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure I used the same slacks and shoes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Tea.
Themed tea. Noah, how about you?
I'm trying so hard to think of anything, and especially something that will be different.
How about the Feast of the Most Precious Blood?
Was that a dinner party?
Yeah.
That was a full day event.
It included a dinner
Well,
party.
I think you're gonna have to maybe explain this one now.
Well,
We've got a while, luckily. So go hog wild here, Noah.
Yeah.
It was my second attempt to make up a holiday in the weekend preceding July 4th.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
You know that thing
when
you do.
July 4th is in the middle of the week, it's like, well, if we're all getting together on Saturday, it's not July 4th. So we got to celebrate something else. So I think July 1st or July 2nd is the Catholic Feast of our Most Precious Blood.
Mm-hmm.
But I reimagined the holiday as a dystopian future holiday in a world that's ruled by vampires. And so you have the Feast of Our Most Precious Blood to like satiate the vampires so they don't eat you.
Uh-huh.
And we watched a lot of vampire movies, and we had red and black food and drink, and everyone had to wear red and black.
In the summer?
Yes, but indoors.
Inside an air-conditioned dark apartment.
Oh.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very
So
dark.
it's like the window shut and everything too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Watched a whole bunch of odd movies, some Draculas.
Did you watch Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter?
No, I
Is
don't
that a
know.
thing?
I don't know if that was
It's a
out at
real
the time.
movie.
Oh.
Real movie, and it is as bonkers. It's more bonkers than you think it is.
Is it more or less bonkers than Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
It's 10 times more bonkers than Abraham Lincoln Vampire. 10, like an exact 10 times more. Yeah, it is.
Fortunately, it's too long ago for me to remember enough details to talk about any of the movies, but I could look it up.
Oh, there was that
Later.
one with the clockwork.
The first one we watched was like one of Guillermo del Toro's first movies, of Pan's Labyrinth and other fame.
Sure.
And it's about like this ancient artifact that's a clockwork beetle and like bites you, and then you need to drink other people's blood to survive.
I'd rather I didn't.
Yeah.
The price of eternal life.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh no, the great movie we watched that day was
What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
great movie.
Yeah,
So it wasn't that long ago, really.
I guess not.
No.
I would say
5
years at most.
years.
That's how long we've been together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cute. There's a. How do we phrase this normally, Ryan? What are you guys working on? What are your projects
Tell us
these
about,
days?
tell us about your cool gig or project.
Okay, well, I
In the
like to.
official notes.
In the official notes. I'm so sorry. I need to brush up on our official icebreakers. Apparently,
I sent you the Google Doc. I don't know.
I'm paying attention to our dinner party guests, not looking at cloud-based documents. Ryan,
All the
this
best.
is our biggest fight yet at a dinner party.
Pay more attention to your cloud-based guests than your
Yeah.
cloud-based documents.
I always like to leave that stuff vague so that you can make it up and never be wrong.
I mean, welcome to life with Ryan. Anyways, seriously, what are you guys up to?
You first.
Sure. So during quarantine, so I was only about 2.5 years into my improv career when all this landed on us, and I was like, but I'm just starting to learn things and be good, and so I need to keep doing it. Fortunately, my indie team, Daddy Issues, who are all my friends that I love very much, and there they are. That would be us on Instagram. Have continued pretty much the entirety of quarantine, practicing once a week, trying to figure out how to make Zoom work for improv. And we've been doing a monthly show, which we call Mirror Mirror, after the form that our lovely coach Joe Gates made for us.
Friend of the show, Joe Gates.
Joe Gates, friend of the show, indeed. Yes, good old Joe Gates.
Yeah, we perform that every third Friday of the month, pretty regularly. Yeah, and it's been fun.
Cool.
Although we are greatly looking forward to returning to the real world.
Yes.
Certainly. Yeah, that's cool. Do you have any like great lessons about improv over Zoom?
Patience.
Honestly, not a word that I've heard before in regards to it. So thanks for that.
Also,
Yeah.
I would say it's a trick to convince yourself that you have been funny when nobody is laughing at you.
Yeah.
So we do keep our mics open during the show and allow ourselves to laugh at each other. That helps a little bit.
Yeah.
But like in an improv show way.
Yeah.
Yes, laugh in enjoyment. Not
Right. You laugh on the sidelines.
Giggle from the sidelines, but don't
Yeah.
point.
Those are the best shows when your team's cracking up and the audience is just staring at you. You're like, well, you don't get it. I don't know why you came here.
It sounds like you guys don't like good art.
Like what it would be if my
This is
family.
top notch.
That's what it'd be like if my family came and saw me do improv, probably.
Great. Noah, how about you?
So we have a podcast together that started shortly into the pandemic.
There we go.
It felt like a ways into the pandemic when we started, but it turned out to just be the beginning of it.
Yeah.
That's you can find us on Twitter or Instagram at Tagging Message Pod. One of the overlaps in our Venn diagram is detective anime, and specifically the anime Detective Conan. And we were watching a different series, and we were like 5 episodes in, and I'm like, stop. This is now a podcast. We're going to continue watching this, but it's going to be a podcast. And rather than just making it a podcast about that one anime, we decided to broaden it so that we could keep going because we've already finished covering it. And but the best thing is that we bring on a new mystery guest each week.
Ooh, a mystery.
Both Neil and Ryan have appeared.
That's true.
Yeah.
And
I didn't want to say it, but yeah, those are the two.
I've been on multiple times. I don't know about Ryan.
Well, I've been on apparently the highest viewed one. So
not
or
the highest, not the highest
highest
viewed. It performed very well in its first week. But some of
That's
the
where
ones
you
that
get
are
all the.
longer.
That's where you get all the. Yeah, you want the first week. You want it to be
Yeah.
the best there.
Yeah.
But everybody, Neil, the Ryans, the other fabulous guests, like some people are more into anime and some people are less, but like you just get all those different opinions, and everybody is hilarious because they've been just at home not having outlets for their jokes.
Yes.
And they all just come pouring out.
Yeah.
What was your like when did you guys, you're like sitting down like, let's do a podcast, and you're like, we need someone else here. Like, you're like,
Was that
was-
episode or yeah?
That was the initial premise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one of the things I like about it, like if you've ever seen a procedural television show like your CSI, or if you've seen a Murder, She Wrote, the anime we're covering is formulaic. And like it's got a murder mystery that's done by the end of the episode. Not so much the one Ryan was on, because there's always exceptions.
that one, yeah.
But it's like, even if you haven't watched the first 100 episodes of Detective Conan, you can watch and follow the murder mystery and be an entirely new guest having a good time.
Yeah.
So how deep is the detective anime genre? Because obviously it's a subsection of regular anime, and it sounds like there's subsections of that even.
Yeah, it's not the deepest. There's not the biggest pile of things.
I do think it's a subgenre I've made up.
Now we're getting somewhere with this. I've always wondered.
It's I would say mystery and detective anime certainly exist. Yeah.
But but I'm like, it's got to have a detective in it. I make the rules. I choose whether or not it counts.
Although I would say that Detective Conan running at over 1,000 episodes probably makes up approximately half the genre by itself.
Yeah. It's a very deep but narrow section of anime.
Has there been a show that you guys have disagreed on whether it meets the specifications?
No.
There's ones that Noah's like, we should cover this. And I'm like, no.
It doesn't have to be good. We don't have to like it.
Well, you know which specific one
I
I'm
know which
talking
one you're
about. It's
talking
no
about.
good. It's no good.
That's no good.
Are you not willing to dish which one is?
No.
It's a little weird. So no, probably not.
I don't want anyone to see it. I'm not even referencing
for the
people who are
after party.
curious.
I don't want anyone to see it.
Our lovely audience members have to go watch every episode of Detective Conan just to figure out like which one you might have been talking about.
No, not an episode of that show.
No, it's its own weird
Oh,
show.
okay.
A different show. But
Okay, I see.
Do you have any clues? Could you give us some clues and we'll see if
Clue?
anyone can
Do we have
figure
a
it
clue?
out?
Dinner party now?
Give us 3 clues.
it's a new anime that you're thinking of.
Yeah,
It's a new
this
anime
season.
airing
It's
right
new.
now.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but we'll tell you
That's
we'll
your
tell
clue.
you all about it back in the green room.
Mhm.
Can't wait.
All right.
And then I just want to give a quick shout out to a show that's coming up this Thursday called the Neil Estate Property Listing Comedy Show.
Hey, I'm on that.
You are the Neil.
I'm the Neil. You're the estate.
Yeah.
Do you only appear on shows in which your name has become mashed together with other words?
I can distinctly say no because I still do the N crowd and people of interest. Unless you
So
think
the
that
N
I
in
am-
crowd doesn't stand for Neil. Just checking.
Yeah.
never has, probably never will.
And the in and people of interest doesn't stand for Neil.
No, the N in people of interest does stand for Neil, but it's a different Neil.
Yeah. Ryan has it correct. Yes.
Neil Peart of Rush.
Yeah.
Um,
An
Yeah.
interesting person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Noah, do you want to explain Neil Estate in a couple sentences for folks?
Yeah, Neil has found so many odd property listings over the years and shared them with many of us. And now he gets to share them with an audience and make jokes. And we make up silly games for comedian guests to play. And the winner of the next episode may have custom business cards if I get my act together.
Wow.
I'd forgotten about that. Oh boy.
I would say that it has a lot of the energy of a British panel show,
Mhm.
and that the contestants are effectively performers and comedians, and it's very, very fun.
And I will say from my end, in terms in even if we just limit it to online shows I've done in the past year, this is the one that generated the most buzz among people who previously had never cared about my comedy career.
Right.
God bless them, like longtime friends who are just like, improv, stand up, or like whatever. And then they're like, real estate and jokes? Tell me more. And they turned up, and we had a lovely crowd, lovely panel last time.
Yeah.
So look for that coming to your internet this week, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Tuesday
please
night.
plug this show on that show.
We will plug this show on that show. We'll also plug people of interest on that show.
I feel like during the past year, like there's already people who like look at property listings as like a form of entertainment. So I feel like now with everyone trapped in their homes, that's like such a thing.
Yeah.
To, well, what if I was literally anywhere else? What if I was trapped in this place?
We've read some of those articles.
Yeah.
Neil always looks for mention of our show, and
Somehow the mainstream media doesn't yet care about our streaming comedy show, which is highly derivative of other works, and yet our own property. It's our own property.
There you go. It's your own intellectual property.
Right. That's why we have my lawyer.
they're too busy writing articles about the Masked Singer.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Is the problem. It feels like just yesterday that show was on, and now they're on like season 5, and there's a spinoff, the Masked Dancer.
I don't understand how the
there a
mask dancers work because those costumes look very heavy.
I mean, you make it work. Like did you not meet any people who were in the mascot at your like high school or college times?
I actually knew a guy in high school. He wasn't the mascot at my high school, but he went to St. Joe's University and became the mascot there. And fun fact, if you become the St. Joe's Hawk, you have to, for the entirety of while you're out mascotting around, you have to flap your wings. You have to flap your arms for the entire time. You cannot stop.
Wow,
It's a good workout.
That's really bad.
It is.
I didn't know the
My take.
mascots at my high school, but during my early 20s period of going to lots and lots of anime conventions, I did hang out with a lot of people in various mascot-like and furry costumes.
Sure.
did they dance?
Did they flap their wings?
Yeah, sure, they
consistently?
danced. They flapped their wings, sure, yeah.
There is that video of those. Have you seen that video? There's like 16 Pikachus dancing. One of them starts deflating.
They
and
have-
gets, like tackled like immediately.
They
by,
have a
like,
fleet of
two
them.
security guards.
Yeah, they have a fleet of them in Japan, and they're so adorable. But yeah, I do know the video you're talking about because they're inflatable suits, and one of them was just like,
They're like, no. Speaking of pop culture, as we have, what are you guys watching, reading, listening to, etc. these days that you'd like to recommend to our lovely audience?
Oh, well, if you're looking for an anime recommendation, we've got a quirky one.
Okay.
We'll start there because that's our thing.
okay.
Odd Taxi.
Oh, Odd Taxi is very weird and fun.
Well, it's like
It's a show called Odd Taxi.
got it. Good so far.
I make a comparison to Zootopia because it's a society where everyone is an animal, but it just like is.
And yet there are regular animals, so it's also like DuckTales.
There
are animal people and animals.
The character had a pet bird that was small, but he was walking around like,
Got it.
It's like Goofy Pluto situation.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Anyways,
but it's an oddly serious. Like there's a crime drama element.
Yeah.
But there's struggling comedians.
I was trying to think of a show. Maybe you can think of a show that is similar. It's the kind of thing where there's like a lot of intersecting characters and they come in and out of the episodes and they have their own things going on that all happen to interact.
Yeah.
But
ER.
Like Gilmore Girls.
Sure. But
it's like not about one person. It's about
the ensemble and the place.
A slightly central character, which is the disgruntled taxi cab driver.
Right. So each episode, like someone will get into his taxi and talk to him for a while, and then we'll also like follow them and see the rest of their lives. And there's like a gangster, there's the doctor at the clinic he goes to. There's
in improv, we call this a macro scene.
Sure.
Yeah, this is definitely like a structure for episodes more so than shows that I can think of, because I feel like here's a really goofy example, like How I Met Your Mother, with let's say it had 100 episodes, right?
Yeah.
25 of maybe tops 25 of them were like kind of gimmicky structures, right? They were either like Rashomon or like Memento style, right? Or like something where you're like, now we're gonna see the story a different way, or like it's just a different setup than usual. And this to me sounds like something like that, where you meet somebody and then kind of follow it down another branching path, and then you kind of like intersect, and then you kind of like come back. You say macro scene, I think more like potentially La Ronde.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
it is all like circling around the one character.
So it's like The Simpsons.
Absolutely. Laugh riot. Laugh a minute. It's part of the thing is because it's so hard to categorize and explain is one of the things that's great about it. And you watch and you're like, what is this? Why is this? How do I?
Why are they animals?
But then it ends and you're like, when is next week gonna come?
Yeah, I can't not watch this, and I cannot pitch it to anybody. How do they get this made? Kind of.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
No, that's great. I'll check that out. Odd Taxi.
Odd Taxi, and it's an anime. Where can one watch it?
Crunchyroll.
Sure enough. Yeah.
There you go.
Any other recommendations you guys have?
Yeah, do we have something non-anime?
I'm trying to think if I have anything that's not like niche Japanese weird shit. But that's most of what I do.
Well, we just finished The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I think a lot of people know about. We liked that a lot. I've been reading a lot of people griping about it on the internet, but it was good. Like whatever, enjoy it.
That's the internet for you. Yeah. Whatever you want to read about, there's people griping about it.
That was my mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mine too.
Yeah. Anything interesting happened to you guys recently? This is a challenging question, we know, in these times, but
yeah. Personal anecdote?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely something interesting has happened.
Yeah, something great and interesting has happened to us.
This is that improv technique where you like lead into something like you know what you're going to say in order to stall and give yourself some more time to think about it.
This is like what it was like on camera before the audience came in to see it. So you guys think about stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh yeah, we've got stuff. You have stuff? So I'm just like going back through everything that's happened to us in the past month. Well, we are looking forward to both being vaccinated. I got vaccinated early.
Great.
Oh, yes, this is mine. I got a
Okay.
haircut.
Hey,
It's
that's
this.
all it takes these days. Nice.
Hey,
I love it.
Not too long ago, we took like a very random Airbnb by ourselves, kind of slightly in the woods away from people, but also kind of near the
That
beach.
was also
but it was too
exciting.
cold for the beach
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was fun. We escaped from a very sanitary escape room that was just us. It was always fun because we've done escape rooms by ourselves before, and they're always
yeah.
but like, have you ever done one before? It takes like a bunch of people, and we're like, we got this.
Yeah, we're good, friends.
Yeah,
We are good.
That's something we could recommend to folks. There's an escape room we went to in Boston that emailed us. They put together like a kit that they mail you. And there's also ones you can buy in stores, but this is kind of nice because it's like an actual local small business escape room that made it. And it was like rescuing people from space. There were some cute puzzles. It was a little short for how much it costs, but I was happy to support them.
Yeah. Nice.
So if
Trapology is the Trapology Boston.
All right.
Wait, so you set it up in your house,
It's not like an escape room. It's like a series of puzzles, and there's like an app with some videos.
Yeah.
And
They send you a package, and you open it up, and there's like pieces of paper and envelopes and doodads, and
But you can only do it once.
correct.
Yeah.
it's like even designed to be like, you pretty much have to destroy these elements to do the thing.
You can only do it once, but you can only do an escape room once.
Hey, Amanda got the link. Thank you.
Oh man, we're totally unaffiliated with them, but
No,
You have a bad experience at Trapology. Not our fault.
No.
but support escape rooms. We want to go back to them when the world's
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
so have you ever so do you do worse if there's other people in the escape room with you?
Ooh.
We have been pretty lucky not to be in that nightmare scenario of like people causing trouble.
There was one time we escaped with exactly 1 second to spare. We were in Canada, and it was in this the tower of this like historic castle.
It's the castle in Toronto that like all the movies were filmed
Castle
in.
Dilemma.
Castle
Yeah.
Loma.
Like X-Men. It's the X-Mansion.
And it's very like historical edutainment style escape room. So there was like parents and kids in our room with us. But like we by the end we were like helping them figure out how to do like some of the handworky puzzles, because they're like varying in difficulty from like kid stuff to adult stuff.
And you're gonna spoil the end of the escape room, aren't you?
It was such a cute moment.
We don't know. I'm sure they've changed it. They're going to be changing it coming out of the pandemic.
So if you
Or
don't
just
want
like a mousetrap situation.
if you want to, if you want to go do this exact escape room, cover your ears for about 1 minute.
Which was pretty neat because it was like in the tower of the castle, and like as we were solving puzzles, we kept like going up spiral stairs to like the top towery part of it.
But this is the last part of it where like now there's a bomb coming and you have to escape, and the power has gone out inside the tower, so we have to race down to the bottom and reestablish power. And you've got these two handles, and we found out where to attach them. They're on opposite sides of the room, and we didn't know.
Amanda.
And we were like, I don't know, what do we do? How do we do it? And it was like the time was clicking down, and suddenly I'm like, join hands. So we all join hands rapidly and grab the handles, and power comes back on, and we escape with 1 second.
You had
left.
to like touch one side of the room and touch the other side of the room and hold hands, and it was like a second. And Michael figured it out.
To be something you do at the last possible second, it was very cute.
Probably do not do that anymore. Probably safe to say that is not coming back in 2022.
So it's probably safe. They've probably changed it up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of games and how dinner parties sometimes really benefit from them, you guys up for playing a little game with us?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
All right. We've put one together, and by we I mean mostly Ryan.
I believe it.
From Amanda.
Amanda set up. Let's just go right to it. I'm not even gonna explain it.
Yeah, great.
Scooby Dooby Doo, who done it? Ryan and Neil need some help now. Scooby Dooby Doo, who done it? Well, Ryan and Neil figure it out now.
That was adorable.
Amanda put it together.
Did we win?
Genius. Well, so the game, as it is since you are such fans of detective anime, we thought that we would take you back to the detective animation of Scooby-Doo. And so what we've done, we've put together 5 questions, and we're going to give you the title of the Scooby-Doo Where Are You of the first 2 seasons. We're not getting to season 3, which is apparently a whole thing that I learned about this weekend. So we're going to give you the name of the episode, the name of the monster, and then a multiple choice quiz. You have to figure out who was the man behind the or woman behind
Old
the
Man
mask.
Jenkins.
Was this like your most original Scooby-Doo that we're talking about?
Yes.
Yes, the original first 2 seasons of Scooby-Doo. They've been cherry picked to be the creme de la creme.
Yep.
Scooby-Doo episodes. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
So as a wrinkle, would you like to play as a unit, or would you like to play head to head?
Why don't we both guess but not keep score?
It's like T-ball.
T-ball. Yeah.
All right, very well.
That's the T in our show name stands for T-ball.
Yeah. All right. Now, okay, are you ready? In the episode Never Ape an Ape Man, a movie set is terrorized by an ape man. Who was ultimately behind the mask? Was it A, Carl the Stuntman, B, John the Director, C, Old Man Withers, or D, there was an actual ape man?
Are all of these names of characters from the episode, or if it's not real, you might have made it up?
I'm going to say
yes.
I'm going to say the 2 that sound the most correct are probably from the episode.
Okay.
I feel like I may slightly remember this. So
that's how you win.
I think it's Carl. I'm going to say it's Carl the Stuntman.
And I'm going to pick John the Director.
It is A, Carl the Stuntman.
Yeah.
Oh, if only we were getting points.
No points for anybody. Everybody was a winner in that round. All right.
Yes.
Wow. Great.
Okay, here comes the next one.
Okay, yes.
In Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Werewolf, a camping trip is terrorized by the werewolf. Who was ultimately behind the mask? A, the unnamed sheep rustler, B, the unnamed sheriff, C, Old Man Withers, or D, there was an actual werewolf?
I don't think there was an actual werewolf. I think that might be the correct answer to one of these questions, but I don't think this is the one.
Okay.
I'm going to go B.
A sounds. No, actually, I'm gonna go with B as well. I'm gonna go with B.
All right.
Oh, I'm afraid it was A, the unnamed sheep rustler.
I was serving that up for you.
Yeah. Oh, were you?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
The unnamed sheriff is the one who arrests the unnamed sheep rustler. No one in that episode had names outside of the main cast.
You named a crime, and I was like, well, they wouldn't just tell us who the criminal was unless the criminal was like, it was a switcheroo and the criminal wasn't the one doing that specific crime. I don't know.
Literally did not have a name. And apparently in that episode, there's several other sheep wrestlers who get away with it.
Oh wow.
Also unnamed.
Also unnamed.
Yeah.
So,
Are all werewolves sheep rustlers?
no, all sheep rustlers pretend to be werewolves.
Okay.
All right. Number 3. In A Night of Fright is No Delight, a will reading in which Scooby-Doo is named in the will of an old eccentric millionaire who Scooby once saved from drowning. That's terrorized by the phantom shadows, aka the giggling green ghosts, who were ultimately the plural of who were ultimately behind the masks. A, Cousin Slicker and Nephew Norval. B, Cosgood Creeps and Mr. Crawls. C, Old Man Withers. D, there were actual phantom shadows, aka giggling green ghosts.
I'm going to go for B again.
All right.
Those names sound too suspicious, so I'm going to go with Cousin Slicker and Nephew Norval, because Nephew Norval sounds like a name that you come up with when you're like, who sounds guilty?
I'm afraid the answer is B.
Nice.
It's
Mr.
possible.
Crawls, no first name given.
See, this is I fell into this trap twice where I'm like, who sounds guilty? No, that's too obvious. It's the other one. But this is Scooby Doo, so it's probably just the one who sounds guilty.
Usually.
Right?
That sounds like it might be the episode that the characters from Supernatural went into on the Supernatural episode where they go into a Scooby-Doo episode.
Well, so fun fact, the eccentric old millionaire, whose name I forget, Beauregard something or other, also a racist because Scooby inherits $1 million in Confederate money.
Confederate bonds.
Pretty good if you want to buy
a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Well, they're like, oh man, you got $1 million, Scoob, and then he's like, Confederate money? Oh no! Sorry, I've been sitting on that Scooby-Doo laugh for.
No, we know.
All right. Question number 4. In a clue for Scooby-Doo, a beach party is terrorized by the ghost of Captain Cutler, who was ultimately behind the mask. A. Ebenezer Shark. B. Mrs. Cutler, no first name given. C. Old Man Withers. Or D. Captain Cutler himself.
No first name given.
No first name.
What do you think?
What was the name of the monster again?
The name of the monster was the ghost.
The ghost of Captain Cutler. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wonder, probably falsely, if you threw this in here to be the correct answer once and say Old Man Withers.
I was gonna say Old Man Withers.
We don't have to disagree.
No, I'm gonna go for D, Captain Cutler himself.
That is correct. Captain Cutler faked his own death because they were trying to get, they're trying to rob the yachts and then get them out of the marina because they were they didn't like all the mega yachts that were in the marina. Everyone, but then the gang are going and then they're having fun on the beach and it gets ruined by a ghost. Yeah. Typical. The other one is like their car breaks down constantly.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, we're in front of a haunted mansion. Oh, car broke.
That's what makes it the Mystery Machine.
Exactly. It's a mystery why they're even doing it.
That's right.
All right. And finally, this is for all the marbles, or I don't know, a portion of the marbles. In Jeepers, it's the Creeper. A high school barn dance is terrorized by the Creeper, who was ultimately behind the mask. A, the Hermit of the Hills. B, Mr. Carswell. C, Old Man Withers. Or D, there was an actual Creeper.
C.
I'm going to say the Hermit of the Hills.
Well, I'm afraid it was Mr. Carswell.
Oh, I don't know.
Carswell that ends well.
Yeah.
No.
Old Man Withers was in the Scooby-Doo ending of Wayne's World. Old Man Withers, who ran the heart of the amusement park, was the villain who was secretly Rob Lowe. Scooby-Doo ending of Wayne's World.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
well,
if I was Rob Lowe, I would keep it a secret too.
Keep it on the Rob Lowe.
Yes.
It was a different time. We would have gotten away with it too, if it weren't for those pesky kids.
That's right.
Which is
kind of their broken vehicle too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations! You guys successfully played a game with us.
How would this rate as a game at a dinner party? Like rate our.
That's right.
How did you? What were your experience? Like, what was the flow of it? How did just give us? Be honest. It's fine.
It does feel like something that Noah would put together at a dinner party. So
it's true. I was like, this is a good idea. I would buy a CD with a soundtrack of just the song intros.
And how would you play it?
Ooh, no,
how would I play the CD?
Buy an MP3, Noah. What's wrong with you?
Okay, I'll buy a digital download.
Yes.
Of just
I
song
think
intros.
My laptop has a DVD or CD player.
I'll subscribe to the streaming service that offers that content.
I do not know for digital discs of any sort.
No, but I think the key to having fun game times over Zoom is like something that's real easy to play, and that was real easy to play.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So it was fun.
Great.
Okay, good. All right, I'm going to start packaging it up. We're going to get it out on the market. Hopefully, we won't have any Hanna-Barbera licensing issues, and we'll just get going.
Yeah,
seems likely to happen.
So it's getting to be that time of the night. We'd like to have a bit of a nightcap.
Oh, I have to go. I have to go grab that.
Oh, okay.
Is it another Japanese curry?
As much as no, we did not spike any Japanese curry.
Is it? I don't even know how would I mean because it's just going to cook off because it's.
Depends on when you spike it.
That's true.
Haven't you ever spiked a gazpacho?
I've never spiked a gazpacho. I've never made a gazpacho.
With
I think
what,
I've only
Fireball?
had gazpacho twice.
I imagine you could spike a gazpacho, but I don't know that people do.
If you're going to do that, just have a Bloody Mary.
Making alcoholic soup again.
Oh,
Yes.
Michael can't hear, but he still knew what was happening. All right, he's back. Michael,
All right.
what have you made us?
What have I made us? Well, because Noah didn't think pasta was interesting enough to have on your show.
We did
to
have
get back-
pasta.
to get back at him, I decided to make a drink that purely sounds interesting. So I have made grog.
wow.
Wow.
Oh, grog.
It's not that fancy.
What's all in it?
Well, so
What's
grog
the recipe?
grog initially is just water and down rum.
Mhm.
So this is a combination of water, rum, brown sugar, simple syrup, and lime juice.
Nice.
Ooh, that
Sounds
sounds
great.
tasty.
Tastes like the sea.
It's good. I mean,
All right.
What are you all
Uh,
drinking?
I have a beer from Community Beer Works. It's their Good Neighbor American IPA. Community Beer Works is based in Buffalo, New York, run by a guy named Ethan Cox, who's like a good friend of good friends. And I've been trying to track down this beer for ages. Finally did.
nice.
Nice.
Yeah. This is some Woodford Reserve.
Mm.
I'll be honest, it's not my favorite, but it was there, and
Sure.
you know, it's been chilling. I've got the whiskey stones because I had to pour it in advance, obviously.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I like a good bourbon, so there you go.
Love it.
So here's to solving mysteries. You know, let's
Cheers.
make the world a little less mysterious.
Yeah.
Dig
All right.
Fine detective work.
Wonderful. And yeah, guys, thanks so much for joining us on our dinner party. This was really fun to have you over, play a game, even if it's not the board games that you're used to.
Yeah. And honestly, we did not expect all of the heavy board game talk in. Like, we did not plan that at all.
Oh, no.
And then it
not
was
at all.
like it was just.
I'm
perfect.
sorry.
Mhm.
No,
Well, no,
no,
it worked out. It makes us look very, very brilliant for having thought of that. So
we're very put together, is what
Yeah.
we're saying.
Now
we
you have to look
literally
at your
were just
list.
like, what can we do? Oh, let's do something around Scooby Doo.
Mysteries. Yeah.
Turn into a game.
Yeah.
You'll have to look at your list of future guests and screen them for board game enthusiasts
Yeah.
to avoid repeats.
Yeah, we'll start sending a pre questionnaire.
Exactly. Everybody loves that. So,
Yeah.
guys, we'll see you back in the green room. We'll plug your stuff on our numerous social media platforms,
So many chances.
shortly. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
Cheers! Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Cheers.
An actual clink.
Clink.
Aha.
No,
Well,
that
Ryan,
was the first clink we've ever had on the show.
it's true. So rarely do our glasses touch.
No, one day
One day they will.
they'll touch again.
Yeah.
In a
That
field,
was-
perhaps.
That was fun.
It was a delightful evening.
Yeah. Always nice to hear what our friends are up to and hear a little bit more about like their backstories and what they're up to when I'm not looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's too much is going on behind your back, Neil. It's not
Okay.
good.
That's what we said. That's Neil. There's too much going on behind your back. Let's have a show. Is what you
Yes.
said to me once.
Yeah, that was the original pitch.
Right.
Just Neil being nosy. It's called Nosy
Right.
Neil.
It's a better pitch than Odd Taxi, I think. And yet, Odd Taxi probably has more something to it.
I think we could do a sitcom, Nosy Neil.
Yeah, we could. You could. We will be back in just over a month. Look for us popping up on Frigid channels. Yeah. And
Keep sending the money.
yep, Venmo Frigid New York and save our stages. And then follow us on Facebook, where My Dinner with Ryaneil stuff.
If you start typing you'll get
Oh,
there.
yeah, hopefully you'll be able to track it down. But that's it for me. Ryan?
I just want to say, as always, just a genuine pleasure.
Indeed.
And thank you everyone who's watching this. And if you're watching this, after the fact, after it's already live, God bless you even more.
That's right. All right. Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody.